welcome everyone. Uh, as today we will delve into the world of Aptos. So, first of all, this is a beginner-friendly walkthrough that basically covers the essential of
Rinig mo ba?
NFTs. Rinig ba ako?
Yes po,
Hello?
audible po.
Okay po. Okay. Okay. So, first off, before we dig deep into the NFT side, let's have a quick rundown on what Aptos is. So basically, Aptos is a layer one blockchain utilizing the Move programming language. So Move is a programming language that is built by Meta, by Facebook, and also for Move has scalability and safety through it. It basically addresses the blockchain trilemma, and it also has low transaction fees for users. So first is for it's ideal for making NFTs due to its next generation na mga DApps. So it also has some standards that you can use with when you want to build on Aptos. And as what I've said earlier, due to Move language, it helps the Aptos systems to run in a more safe and secure level. So of course, low fees. So Aptos aims to keep transaction fees low, so which make it very accessible to not just the user but also for the developers as well. So what really a NFT? NFT means. So lagi natin 'to naririnig like NFT, ano ba 'tong non-fungible token? Ano ba talaga yung meaning ng non-fungible? So para ma-differentiate natin, ano ba talaga ng meaning ng non-fungible token, we first need to like differ it with the fungible tokens. So for example, I have these pictures, a fungible token versus a non-fungible token. So for example, a Philippine peso coin is a fungible token, which means if you try to trade it in a one is to one basis, the value of the token does not really change at all. For example, may 10 peso coin ako at i-trade ko sa kaibigan ko na sa 10 peso coin niya. So pag trade namin, walang nangyari. Nothing changes. They all hold the same value. As for non-fungible tokens naman, uh, the the keyword here is every item is unique. So for example here, we have a concert ticket. Ano ba laman ng mga concert ticket, 'di ba? The event, also the category SSVIP ka ba, VIP ka ba, at ang iyong seats mo. Doon nakalagay ang mga attributes ng event na na a-attendan, a concert na a-attendan mo, 'di ba? So if if you try to trade or interchange a concert ticket into a one is to one basis, di siya pwede kasi iba iba ang iba ang value ng isang ticket, iba din ang value ng ibang ticket dahil every uh, ticket is unique in its own way. Di katulad ng mga fungible tokens like at Philippine peso coin, mga fiat na mga coins, they hold the same value even if you trade it randomly. So if you try to trade a front row ticket to a back row one. So, di ba, they have different in value and experience. So, that's what non-fungible mean. It's a unique asset that you can just interchange in a one is to one basis. For example, here, like fungible is interchangeable. You can just exchange it or trade it to a one is to one ratio. For example, a 10 peso coin, you can just trade it to a 10 peso, another 10 peso coin, one Aptos coin to another one Aptos coin, one Bitcoin to another one Bitcoin, and so on and so forth. So these are the fungible ones. So when we say non-fungible, each item is unique and cannot be and not interchangeable by any means. So for example, kanina yung concert tickets. Every concert tickets have different seats. Di naman pwede na sa isang concert ticket, dalawa kayo. Paano kayo uupo niyan? Di ba? Iba't ibang attributes ang per item ng isang fungible token. That's why they differ in value. So you cannot just interchange it sa another item in a one is to one basis. So that's what really non-fungible means. It's unique. It's different from other items, and even if they are in the same collection, it's they have different values. So first we need to understand the uniqueness of NFTs. So NFTs in general, the non-fungible tokens that we all see in the market, in the profile pics of your friends out there, they have unique metadata. This metadata this is where the attributes of a particular NFT stores. So this is what makes an NFT distinct from any other NFT. So as what I've said earlier, it is also a non-swappable in nature. So you can just exchange a one is an NFT to another NFT because they differ in value. So this kind of concept really emphasize their individuality as an NFT as a whole. So also diverse representation. NFTs can like represent various things. For example, you're making a game and you want that each badge is an NFT, each item is an NFT. So it can represent really a wide range of uh, classifications. So we also have as what others we can see in the market. We have arts na mga NFTs, membership or rewards that also this diverse representation showcase how versatile NFTs are. You can use it however you want. So up next, so how does Aptos really helps making NFTs or in particularly like in efficiency on NFTs and Aptos? So Aptos has very optimized performance for users. It has an efficient minting and trading of NFTs. So and also security, as what I've said earlier, due to the secure state of Aptos, you are so sure that every transaction that you have in the NFT in your transactions will be protected and also developer friendly. As we try to dig deep later on how to technically write or build a smart contract a for Aptos. Aptos has this a developer friendly standards that you can follow through. So we will just dig deep into that later. So Aptos has very wide ecosystem in terms of NFT projects and communities. So and also like they have some NFTs that is very engaging with the community. So let's jump into the docs of the Aptos. So let's start with the Aptos standards. Uh, so standards as it the word it says na this is a common ground for builders to build upon. So for example, if you want to build an NFT, you have to follow a certain standard so that you can build it. That's like any other chain, like from the Ethereum chain or like they also have some standards as well. Like for example, sa Ethereum, they have ERC20 standards, di ba? ERC20, ERC721. Aptos also have that kind of standards. So next is this move standards. Move standards, as it says, that it allows move to represent a complex type as a set of resources stored within a single address and offers a rich capability model that allows for fine-grained resource control and ownership management. So basically, you can just imagine this object as a struct that you can store data with, that you can access as a global object. You can just access it depending on the how you configure the ownership of these objects. So now we have this asset standard. This is where dito tayo medyo magdidig deep dahil dito nakalagay ang standards ng paggawa ng NFT. So first is digital asset standard. So digital asset standard is a standard for building an NFT or a semi-fungible token. So like semi-fungible tokens are like half fungible and half non-fungible, but we're not gonna get deep into that. So we're gonna focus on the NFT part of it. So another standard is this fungible asset. If you want to build your own native token or your native Aptos coin, you can use this fungible asset as your standard for making one. So we also have this legacy standards, Aptos token, and Aptos coin. So without further ado, let's just dive into what digital standard is. So first is let's read through the documentation. Like the digital asset standard is a modern non-fungible token standard for Aptos. So this standard this is basically what you need to build an NFT on Aptos. So in making an NFT in Aptos, we have to take note of these two concepts: a collection and then a token. So think of it as like a parent to child relationship. Like a collection can have one to many tokens, but a token can only have a one collection. So that's just basically it and how to build a NFT using this digital asset standard. First, you need to define your collection. After that, you make tokens out of it. It's just simple as that. So in this latter part, the in making a collection, you just need a description, a name of your collection, the description of your collection, the royalty, and the URI. So this URI is where you store your metadata. This is where you store your attributes. So you just need these four things to build a collection. So in making a collection, we have a two choices. Either we have a fixed supply of collection, or we want to make a unlimited supply. So in our case, we just try to make a collection with unlimited supply. So we'll jump directly to our VS Code and let's try to build this collection. So first, before we uh, before we jump into the VS Code, we need to install muna the dependencies, the Aptos CLI, the wallet extensions. So in saan na ba yung CLI? Ito. In installing the Aptos CLI, they offers like whoever on what kung ano mang OS meron ka dito. But in my end, we'll use the Linux one because I'm using WSL. Pero if you're in Windows, you feel free to follow these guidelines on how to install in Windows or in Mac. But for us, we're gonna install it uh, via Linux na installation. So just copy this and just paste it. We're gonna make a directory muna. Dev. So
May tape, bro.
we can just paste it here.
Forgot?
Dito. Like, paste natin. Tapos magrara na siya. Hopefully. Yeah. Pero meron naman ako. I already installed it sa device ko. So if you try to install yours, magko-configure pa kayo on uh, on your may instructions naman after yung mag-download ng CLI, may need pa kayo i-configure sa terminal nyo. So after that, we're gonna need this Petra wallet extension. This extension is for us to have a wallet account for our transactions later. So I already have one here. Dito. Gawa lang kayo ng account, import na kayo ng account, and then just faucet it. Lagyan nyo lang ng altcoins para later on ma-fund niya ang mga gas fees later na if pagde-deploy kayo, magmi-mint kayo ng transactions. So after that, we're gonna initialize our Atlas environment na here sa ating directory. So, yan. So we're gonna initialize it like Aptos init. Then it will ask whether what network do we need. So we're on we are building on DevNet muna. So we're gonna input DevNet. So after that, hihingi siya ng private key ng account mo or ng wallet mo. So need natin i-extract yung private key ng wallet natin. Pero if production na kayo, like wag nyo talagang i-share yung private key nyo. For ngayon lang, i-share ko kasi for test account naman to at wala namang mainnet assets to. So for safety purposes on your end, don't share your private keys para di mawala mga pera nyo. So we're gonna get our private keys here. Sa manage account lang. Tapos dito, private key. Copy nyo lang to. Tapos need lang natin to. So extract mo natin yan. Dito na lang. So need na natin tong may hexadecimal na ito na sa start ng OX. Dito kayo start. Tapos kunin nyo to lahat. Copy natin yan. Paste natin dito. Ayan, nantayan tayo. So ayun, success. Nakaset up na tayo ng account natin sa Aptos natin. So after that, we're gonna make a move project, a move directory naman. So the command is like aptos move init and then dash name tsaka name ng ating move package like my NFT. Okay. So if we try to see, wait lang. if we try to see the list of all nakagawa na ng uh, Aptos directory uh, itong tawag nito. Basta itong system na to. Gumawa siya ng move na toml file, scripts, and also the test and sources. So let's try to open it in our VS Code. Okay, dito. At first, talakihin muna natin. Yan. Dito sa Aptos na .aptos, makikita natin ang configs. Ito kanina, yung ginawa natin, di ba, na-input tayo ito private key natin. And then, gumawa siya ng account natin. Ito yung account natin. So, para magamit natin itong account natin later, para makagawa tayo ng module, ikakopy lang natin itong account na to. Copy natin yan. Ilalagay natin dito. Mag-define lang, ilagay natin dito sa address. Ito yung address na gagamitin natin para mag-deploy ng contracts sa DevNet. So, lagay lang kayo ng name ng address nyo. Paste natin dito. So, ayun. Meron na tayong address sa ating move.pamalit. And then, after that, gagawa tayo ng file dito sa sources. Lagay natin dito my nft.move. Yan. In making a move smart contract, we need to define its modules, di ba? So, we need to define module and then yung address na gagamitin natin. So, itong address na to. So, copy mo lang to. Yan mo lang yan. Tapos, lagay mo lang yung pangalan. Bilis naman ni Copilot. Ayan natin, my NFT. So, ayan. So, di ba gagawa tayo ng collection? Ano need ng collection? Visit tayo muli sa asa na yun? Sa digital assets. Ito, making collection. Ang need mo lang ay ito. Itong standard na to. Ito lang need mo talaga. Copy mo lang yan. Paste natin dito. Ayun. So, we also need to import ang token object ng collection. So, gonna import use Aptos token and then objects, tsaka collection. Yan. Vibe coder. If we try to compile this one, ano kaya mangyayari? Wag na to. So, terminal na lang. If we try to compile it, Aptos compile. Aptos move pala. Aptos move compile. May error. Sabi dito, string literal must begin with a B, a byte string. So, saan na mali? Ito. Sabi daw niya, lagyan na natin ng byte string ang each ang every string literals. So, try natin. Compile natin ulit. So, yun, may error ulit. So, ang error dito, wala tayong nag-use tayo ng collection dito, ng library dito, pero di natin in-apply sa ating move.toml. Dito kasi nakalagay yung mga dependencies na gagamitin mo. So we also need to uh, input type here the dependencies na gagamitin natin. So let's try to reconfigure this one. So first is the Aptos framework, yung kanina. Framework. And then Git. Taas naman yun. Wait lang. I-copy-paste na natin. Ayun. Dito pala. So dito, Aptos framework. Create a Git. And then after the Git, we did a subdirectory. Subdir. And then ito yung subdir natin. Ito ang Aptos framework. Copy natin to. Delete na natin to. Subdir natin. Yan. And after that is our rev. And define natin devnet. So basically, pinupull lang yan yung mga basic na mga dependencies na kailangan mo for Aptos. After that, we need to also, since may error dito kanina, di daw to unbound module, dito nakita ng compiler asan daw tong collection na to. So we need to also import it sa Aptos tokens. Aptos tokens. Copy-paste na natin to. Same lang naman sila. Nagdi-differ lang sa subdirectory. So, copy natin to. Lagay natin dito. Pero change natin to into a Aptos token. Token. Ayan. We try to recompile it. It's a best good practice to every time you code, you always try to compile it para makita nyo agad kung saan yung error. Okay, so ano naman to? Medyo, wait lang. Change natin itong package name. Baka nag-duplicate na sa mga ginawa ko kanina. Ay, yung Aptos token pala. Ayun. Ay, pala pala. Wala palang S. Sige. Yun. Nag-compile na siya. Nakita na nga yung module. However, baka may typo ulit ako. Aptos token. Rev.net. Tama naman. Subdirectory. Wait. Git. Aptos log. Okay, we try to debug this one later. We just need to build muna the system, the app. So in making this function kasi only receives strings. So we need to define a string for them. So sa labas, gawa tayo ng global na import muna natin yung string. Gawa tayo ng global pala. Global na mga const. Need natin description. So collection description. Tapos, kami nating vector. Right. So, bakit vector ginamit natin dito? So, di ba ang string is basically a array of characters. So, a vector is a array data structure, right? So, you need to use, since move is explicit, you need to define what data structure you need to impose. So, after that, you also need the name and also the collection URI. Collection URI. So, ito. Ano magandang collection name? Aptos collection. Description pala to. Ito pala, Aptos collection. Yan. So, in making a URI and metadata, we just need to have uh, a image for our NFT, di ba? Di naman pwede walang image yung NFT natin. So, we need to go to a website called Piñata.cloud, if you're familiar with this one. This is a decentralized crypto storage, off-chain crypto storage. So, we just log in. Tayo via Google. Wait lang natin. So, dito, pwede tayo mag-upload ng mga NFTs for pictures or any pictures, videos for you to use on your NFTs. For example, let's try to add a file. So, yun, try natin upload. So, dito, makikita natin na may ID siya at ito yung gagamitin natin para sa ating metadata, itong picture na to. So, just need to click it. Click nyo lang yung name. Tapos ito, magge-generate siya ng pati kita. Yan. Yung link na yon. Itong ID na to, yun yung ID ng ating image. So, just copy this and then paste it here sa ating URI. Okay, so meron na tayong collection name, collection URI. So, pwede natin palitan itong nandito sa loob, yung collection description. So, palitan natin to. We need to use a move function called UTF. We need to import it muna. Use std string and then import ang string pati yung UTF-8. UTF-8. basically, ang ginagawa nito UTF-8 is ginagawa niya, kino-convert niya ang mga byte string literals into a string data type. So, pwede gawin natin dito, UTF-8, UTF-8, tapos collection description. Collection description. Yan. Pati dito sa collection name. Same thing lang pa rin. UTF-8 collection name. And then dito sa URI, UTF-8 collection URI. So, itong function na to, nagre-receive lang to ng string na value dito. Kaya need natin i-convert to mga byte size na mga characters into a string. So, gamit ang UTF-8, ma-change natin yon into a string. So after that, we try to compile, pero may error pa sa yung error dito sa collection. Yun. Unbound option. Address up to token. Up to token objects. Tama naman. Collection. Dito. Build naman. Baka need natin yung isa. Use up to token. Try natin to. Di pa rin. Up to token object. Use up to token. Dependencies pa rin. Wait lang. Another thing is like add tayo na up to token objects. Need natin add to dependencies yung up to token objects. Token objects. Ito. Copy na natin to. And then, paste natin dito. Change natin to ito up to token object. Objects. Yan. Let's try to compile it again. Yun, success. Success yung pag-compile natin. Yung problem pa lang pala kanina is dependencies issues lang. Di natin na-import ang Aptos token objects. Tapos ginamit natin dito sa Aptos token objects. Import mo na, para magamit nyo itong library na to, you need to import it via this sa moves.toml. Dito, add nyo ang mga dependencies na need nyo. So yun, nakagawa na tayo ng collection. After natin magawa ng collection, since balik tayo sa docs, di ba, every collection has a token, has a multiple tokens, one to many tokens. So we need to create a token. So ang paggawa naman ng token, need nyo lang ulit, same lang pa rin sa paggawa ng description ng collection, description lang, name, royalty, and then URI. So ito yung paggawa ng token. So import lang natin to. Sa ating MyMove NFT. Na-import na natin yung token at saka gagamitin natin tong standard na to para makamint tayo ng NFT. So lagay lang natin dito. So same thing pa rin since itong mint token, kailangan ng collection name, collection description, token name, royalty, and then URI. So after that, we need to make again a global na mga variables for them. So we need the token collection, token description. So we're gonna make one const token description, and then token name. Thank you, GitHub Copilot. After that, we also need the token URI. Const token URI. And then vector dash U8 natin. Upload ulit tayo since pwede naman same gamitin natin na picture pero for differentiation lang. Upload ulit tayo ng picture or gamit tayo ng picture dito. Ito na lang. Dito sa pinyata. Wait muna natin. Yun. Title copy to. And then, ito yung gagamitin natin as a URI, as a picture sa ating tokens. Yun. So, pwede din, for most cases, in making a metadata, ang URI metadata, ang ginagawa kasi mostly is JSON. Like for example, gawa tayo ng JSON. Like metadata.json. Ang ginagawa kasi mostly is ganito lang. Like name, and then description. Tapos, gagawa tayo yung, or mag-add ka ba ng attributes? Attributes. Like ganyan. Like ganyan. In most cases, we can also use this as a metadata. Ito ay papakain natin dito sa URI. Pero in our end, we're just gonna use a picture for a metadata. Since you can just directly make a metadata na picture lang. For example, dito. Like, pwede ka mag-add ng image dito. In most cases, ito talaga ginagamit pag yung if you want to build an NFT collection na medyo dynamic na talaga, na each NFT have different attributes, have different image, has different na mga properties. So you need to use this metadata. Then you can just gamit ka lang ng cloud na mga storage like GitHub Gist and whatnot para maka-input ka ng metadata dito at ilagay mo rin dito sa ating token URI or even sa collection na URI natin. So, nagawa na tayo ng ang need lang sa para ma-mint ang token natin is we need the collection name. So, we already have a collection name here. So, we're just gonna put it here. So, since this function also receives or nagtatanggap pa to ng a string, you need to put UTF-8 to convert those byte string literals into a string literals na talaga. So, collection name. Tapos, add natin ang token description. UTF-8 token description. And then, ito, token name. And then, dito, token URI. So, if you want, like, may royalty option kasi dito. For example, may kakolab kayo ng mga artists and such. So, you need to really declare kung ilang royalty yung makukuha nila. So for in our end, we're just gonna use none. So ganyan. So we try to compile this. We try to compile this. Aptos move compile. There's some warnings lang ng mga unused na mga ah yun, success siya, na-compile siya. So we're gonna remove this mga unused na mga variables na ginamit natin para para makatipid tayo sa gas fees. So try it again. Dapat wala na tong warning. Yun, wala nang warning. Successful na na-compile natin itong contract natin. So, quick run through lang. In making in the digital asset standard, you just need to create a collection. So, create ka ng collection na to. After that, you have a mint token. You create a token through this standard din para makagawa ka ng NFTs mo. So we try to deploy it na to the mainnet. So in deploying to the mainnet, we just have to type aptos move and then publish. So we're gonna use our default profile default. And then since na-download naman ito mga Git, para di na siya palaging magda-download, we're gonna skip fetch latest git git deps git dependencies. So when we try to publish, yun, mapaprompt siya if do you want to submit this transaction with these gas fees. So gonna put yes. So yun, na-deploy na natin yung token natin, NFT token natin dito sa DevNet na Aptos. So when we try to go to the Explorer, so nag-open na. Wag to. Wag dyan. Dito tayo sa Edge. Ito. Just wait. So ito, may transaction na na-submit dito sa ating DevNet. So, ang ganda din dito sa Aptos na Explorer is you can run your modules. So, for example, if we connect our wallet, connect natin itong Petra wallet natin. Approve. So, then we go to our account. Ito account natin. Ito yung transaction na ginawa natin bago lang. Nag-deploy tayo ng contract sa DevNet. So, since we define our module here, itong module kasi, ito yung module na made-deploy sa blockchain. So, with the use of your address. So, same thing din dito. May modules dito. With the use of your address, dito nakalagay yung modules na dinedeploy mo sa blockchain. So, ito yung dineploy natin kanina. And then, ito sa run. Di ba? Meron tayo, create collection. Pwede natin i-simulate dito ang pag-create ng collection. So, we just run this. We create a collection. Magpa-prompt lang yung Petra na wallet natin. Hihingan niya ng signature, of course, for approval. So, we need to approve it. So, our transaction executed successfully. So after that, may collection na tayo. So we just mint a token. So, so approve natin. Mint tayo ng token. Yun, successful din. If we try to check dito sa ating wallet, sa mga activities natin, may one collection tayo, pero medyo buggy kasi ito yung Petra. So let's try to open other wallet na ma-review natin yung NFT natin. So Aptos also have this Pontem wallet, Pontem crypto wallet, this Pontem crypto wallet extension. You can also add this to this one. Yun. Dito, meron tayo dito. Download nyo lang yan. Add nyo sa extension nyo. Import na tayo ng password. Dito, NFTs natin. Yun, di ba? Aptos collection. Dito. Ito yung collection natin. And yung Aptos token natin. So, we successfully mint our very own first NFT. So, ganyan lang kadali mag-mint ng NFTs dito sa Aptos. So, may ginawa akong kanina na same thing lang din. Ibang account gagamitin natin. Ito. Refresh na natin to. So you can basically configure it however you want. Like for example, like pag mint ng token, gusto mo ang name ng token is token number 1 and then the next na mag-mint is token number 2. You can also do that in making your own collection, but you need to configure it pa more para magana siya. So approve this. So, tayo sa account na to. May ginawa akong NFT ata dito. Ito. Like, mint token. And then dito sa demo account, yun, makikita natin, like Hiraya collection. Token number 1, token number 2. If we try to mint again, refresh natin. So, basically guys, ang paggawa ng collection, pag-mint ng collection dito sa Aptos is very much the same lang from other blockchain. We just need to have to follow this strict rules of standards in creating a NFT collection. So you just need to define your collection and define your tokens. So after that, you just need to configure it. Depende sa'yo kung anong gusto mong gawin sa collection mo. So basically, that's it. And thank you for your time and for listening sa How to Mint NFTs with Aptos. Thank you.